Hello and good morning to another episode of Geology Hacks with Thomas. Today we are near Panguitch in southern Utah, about 25 miles from Bryce Canyon away, just to give you an idea where it is. And today's topic is Utah mega landslides. This is the paper by Bob Eek, which describes very nicely the entire landslides and this particular location as well. 3 major landslides in this area. We are talking about the largest one, that's the center one, that's the Markagunt landslide. The slide is about 30 kilometers wide and about 96 kilometers long, and was up to 1.6 kilometers deep. The speed of the slide is estimated to be around 120 kilometers per hour or even higher. We have looked at this slide in a previous video at the top. I'll put a link in again for you. And today we would like to look at the bottom, what happens at the interface between the bedrock and the landslide. Just to give you a little lay of the land, I'll turn the camera around. Here we're looking east. Powell Point is just about here. Swinging north around, you see some lower mountains. In the back, that's the Tushar Mountains. That's where the landslide came from. If you swing around, you see a couple of nice little mountains, bigger mountains here. That's Sandy Peak, 9,500 feet high. That's part of the landslide. Actually, most of it here is part of the landslide. And down here we stand around 6,500 feet. So that's not quite 3,000 feet elevation difference. It's all part of the landslide. Let's have a look at the rocks here. And standing, a lot of black rocks, nothing spectacular, but this is part of the Mount Dutton Formation. It's a breccia here, angular rocks in a matrix. The breccia is not a landslide breccia, but it's actually a volcanic breccia. Here you see an outcrop, and I think if you go down here a little bit, you have some nice ideas how this breccia looks like. Basically basalt-like composition. Yeah, as we hike down this hill, still dark colored. That's the Mount Dutton Formation, leftovers. But here, the colors are changing. The light colored sandstone. And that's here. You can see, just give my foot a size comparison. So here's the transition from the landslide to the bedrock. As I walked up this hill, I picked up a little fingernail chart. It's transparent. That's volcanic glass. With the sun at the right angle, you can recognize quite a few blackish small pieces. That's also volcanic glass. Here I got some black glass-like structure. If you turn it around, there's a seam of this going into the bedrock here. Let's keep that in mind when you see the next stop. And here we see the same thing in situ. This is the bedrock underneath here, and in here, that's black volcanic glass in the bedrock. As I was admiring this little creek and waterfall. The glittering sun pointed out another feature. Here you have another little dike. Glittering in the sun. That's more volcanic glass. Pretty cool. A cross-section of what you have seen previously on top of each other. Here it's a cross-cut, very nice. And we can make out again the light yellow tan color, Bear Valley Formation, volcanic sandstone. That's the bedrock. And on top of it we see the dark breccia. That's the Dutton Formation. And the landslide came basically from left to right, so it was riding up the hill here a little bit. Now let's get a close up without getting wet feet, I hope. Okay. What does a close up tell us here? Here we have sandstone, breccia, and this is the glass layer. If you get some close-ups, you can go along here. You see it goes all the way interfacing here. Here you see. Okay. Get down here. We see some flow structures here. That's little green. That's chlorite. You see some other nice layering here. That's pretty cool. Now this layer is called a pseudotachylyte. That's a composition of two words. Tachylites is a volcanic glass, can be generated by volcanic eruption. It's a glass formed by a silica poor or low silica containing magma. The obsidian, which originates from a silica rich magma. So this is different. Tachylites are pretty rare rocks. Now, why is it called pseudotachylyte? Well, it didn't generate during a volcanic eruption. It generated when the landslide came down here, and the friction and the interface between the sandstone and the breccia caused heat and caused it to melt and then to solidify afterwards. Pseudotachylites you can find in fault lines, vertical fault lines, where a lot of heat was generated, and also here in landslides, and that's pretty new actually. Here's another little neat feature. See the pseudotachylyte extends down here, fingers down here. That's presumably because this crack was created during the landslide, and so the molten pseudotachylyte was flowing in here as well. Overall, a pretty neat point. Let's just enjoy the view here, this little creek. It's always a pleasure to have some water in the desert. It makes such a difference, just the sound of it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and looking forward to seeing you at the next video as well. magma, such like basalt.